On today's video, I've got a set of irons that might be the perfect irons for us mere mortals. And when I say mere mortals, I'm talking about the higher handicaps, the higher to mid handicaps, folks that don't have a ton of swing speed, folks that need that little extra bit of forgiveness. These clubs hopefully have it all. These are the new Hot Metal Pros from Mizuno, and if you saw my video yesterday with the hot metals, you know that I really liked those. This is a smaller overall package. Let's see if we get all that performance and maybe a little bit more. I'm out here at Carrollwood Country Club. What we're gonna be doing today is playing irons only, and it's gonna be maybe a little bit more challenging to hit our over-under here today because I've got a half set of clubs. I've only got the 5-iron, the 7-iron, and the pitching wedge here in this set, but I'm confident as always. All right, let's turn the camera around and take a look at these beauties. Here they are absolutely gorgeous now. If you saw yesterday's video with the hot metals, these pros are going to have just an overall thinner profile, but they look very, very similar. Although I've got to say, I like the black badging here of the Hot Metal Pro rather than the white badging on the hot metals. I think it's a more elegant look. I think it just looks a little classier. It looks a little bit more high end. But of course, looks is one thing and performance is another, so that's why we're out here testing clubs. In terms of technology, well, these are packed with it, just like the hot metals. These pros have what Mizuno is calling Core-Tech design, and they call it a cup face, and that's basically a variable face thickness that is going to give you more forgiveness where us mere mortals tend to hit it, which is low towards the toe, that sort of thing. So we'll be putting that forgiveness to the test out here today. In terms of the sole of these clubs, again, you got a nice little bevel there at the back. I prefer a bevel towards the front as well. These clubs don't have that, but I will say, out on the range, it looked like they have pretty good turf interaction. Again, we'll be putting that to the test out here. Again, overall, just a smaller profile, but not by a whole lot. The top line though, I would say is medium to large, whereas the hot metal was large. So just a little bit thinner top line maybe. At least that's what it looks like by eye. I haven't measured it. In terms of lofts, here on the screen, I'm gonna put the lofts for you, and they are exactly the same as the hot metals. These pros have a 7-iron that sits at a very strong 28 degrees and 42 at the pitching wedge. So these clubs are going to have quite a bit of pop to them. Some other technology inside these clubs, you've got tungsten weighting here in the 7 through 4-iron that's going to give you a little bit more lift. So this is truly a multi-metal construction with the nickel chromalloy we've seen for many years here out of Mizuno being the base metal, with that tungsten weight down at the bottom to give you a little bit more peak height. These things I think are going to soar. Let's get them out on course now and find out. All right, par 4 here to start, and I've got my Garmin G80 courtesy of playbetter.com. I'm gonna leave a link down below, which is gonna give us some not only launch data, but also accurate GPS distances to see how far this flies. 5-iron in hand here. Hopefully we get off to a good start. Oh yes, oh my goodness. That is high. For a 5-iron, that is crazy high. It felt good too. If you saw my video with the JPX 925 hot metals, not the pros, but the regular hot metals, you know that I just was a little surprised the feel was as stiff as it was. These feel not as buttery, of course, as the Mizuno Pro series of pure Mizuno forgings, but this definitely is, I think, a step up in terms of feel from the regular hot metal here in this line. Now, in terms of numbers there, it was club head speed 89, ball speed 130, the smash. This is pretty incredible, 1.45 here with a 5-iron. That's very, very high. Estimated carry was 193. We'll see where it finished. I think it's gonna be a lot longer than that, to be quite honest. I think we're gonna go over 200, and that's where I'd like to be with this loft of club. Now these Hot Metal Pros are gonna be the same loft setup as the regular Hot Metal versions. And again, if you saw that video, you know that my first shot off the tee box was 207. And just so you know, a normal 5-iron for me, which is a couple of degrees weaker than this one, my normal 5-iron is about a 190 club, maybe 195 if I really go after it, but about 190 probably. So let's see where this thing finished. Look at that, 208, only 1 yard different from the Hot Metal 925 regular version. So yeah, same lofts, we're gonna get very similar results here in terms of distance, it looks like, and I've got a good look here. I am in perfect position to attack. 134 is the number. And I've got the half set here again. So I've got a pitching wedge, a 7-iron, and a 5-iron. So that means this is definitely going to be pitching wedge, and it should be the perfect club, really. It's probably about a 145 club, but I'll take a little bit off this one. Pin looks basically center of that green too. So again, this is full green light here. Might be too long. Pretty good in terms of direction, just a little left of the pin. That seemed to really stop on a dime. And that's what I'm looking for. That's always, with a strong lofted club, always going to be the X factor. Sometimes you don't get stopping power out of these strong lofted irons. I saw, and I was pleasantly surprised, again, with those regular hot metals, just how quickly those stopped on the greens. That looked really good. So let's go check the pitch mark. And we are not long at all. I am pin high here. As you can see, I'm walking up sideways. That is gonna be a great crack at birdie. Here's my pitch mark right here, and we only rolled out 1.5 feet there. So very nice in terms of stopping power. Let's see if we can make this putt. All right, this is going to break just a little left to right. It's downhill, so don't have to worry too much about speed. Just got to get it going. Oh, it'd be nice to start with a bird here. Yes, sir. Woo! That's a great start for what seems like a great set of irons. We're heading to 2. We've got a par 5. Woo! Hit that one off the toe. Really bad strike, actually. But it's going to be a good result, I think. We'll find out how far it went, how much distance we lost, but I hit it right here. In terms of clubhead speed, my clubhead speed was up there, 92. Ball speed 130, smash 141, which is indicative of me missing the center of that club face just a little bit. The estimated carry 194. That actually is really nice to see because obviously I loved the forgiveness of the hot metals, these hot metal pros. I was a little, again, concerned maybe not quite as forgiving off toes and off mishits, but you still got that tungsten weight in the 7 through pitching wedge. That's going to allow the ball up to get it in the air higher. And with this 5-iron, we've already got the height, as you can see. And it's nice to see that we've got the forgiveness alongside that as well as the distance. So let's see where this one finished. Now, I did miss the fairway here by inches. That's 4 inches, maybe 3. And on our miss hit there, 200 on the nose. Boy, in terms of forgiveness, we didn't lose a ton of distance there. Even though the smash factor was down, clubhead speed was up, and overall distance didn't suffer too badly. All right, now what we're gonna do here is I've got a little bit of a decision because we are in the rough here. Do I hit 5-iron or 7-iron to advance this ball? I think I'm gonna go 7-iron again. I'm changing clubs because we're in the rough. We'll see how this thing does in terms of turf interaction. The sole of this club, the whole profile, of course, a little smaller, and the sole of this club just slightly smaller as well. Let's see how it cuts through the rough here. Didn't really have any problems with the slightly bigger overall head shape of the hot metals. So I expect we're gonna have pretty good results here, but we'll find out. This is a pretty sketchy lie because we're right on the edge. Oof. Came out nice, but it might be in the rough again. I think we're gonna be in the rough over there. It's just, it's hot. That is a hot, hot, hot face. And you can hear it here with this club. Didn't really hear that like hotness with the hot metals, but with the hot metal pros, there's just a little different sound. If I was to go back to the other video and just listen to the shots. This one's a little bit more ear piercing in a good way. 64 yards out here, I've got 58-degree wedge in hand. Oh, too much, that's too much. That's gotta get down quick. As we're heading up to that birdie putt, let's talk price of these clubs. They are $150 per iron, and I do think that represents pretty good value. Obviously, you've got some really good performers in this category of clubs that can be had for a little bit less. Resale value, though, of these Mizuno clubs is gonna be a little higher generally. People love Mizuno irons, and they hold their value a little bit better than most. I think you're getting a lot of club for the price. You could spend a whole lot more money with something like a Ping G430, for instance, in this category of clubs, and the performance here is gonna rival anything on the market, for sure. All right, big, long birdie putt. Oh, give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, I thought we were gonna steal one there. The only bad shot on this hole was the shot where I didn't use the JPX, by the way. The cup is destroyed here at the end of the day, so I'm gonna hit this with a little more pace. All right. The other thing to consider about price of these clubs, you're gonna get some nice shaft options with these, and they have other premium options available here from Mizuno, whereas, you know, if you get a budget club, you're probably gonna get a cheaper shaft included with it, and you're certainly not gonna have the kind of options that Mizuno offers. So that's a big plus in the Mizuno's category. You're gonna pay a little bit more, but you're getting more too. All right, pretty reasonable par 3 here, 128. I've got that same pitching wedge in hand that we hit on the first hole. Hopefully we can control distance like that. Little breeze in the face, not much. Similar swing, just take just a little bit more off and we should be perfect. Oh yes, that's headed right at it. Be the club. Okay. Oh man, we could be going real low today. So far I like these clubs a little bit better than the regular hot metals. Of course, I'm a little better player, but I don't think I'm giving up much. I'm getting more here. I'm getting better feel. I'm getting better looks. I'm getting a little better sound, so all the aesthetics is a little better with this one. In terms of performance, I've got a very nice, straight, forgiving club that seems to go just as long as well, so I'm not seeing any downside as of yet. And I seem to be knocking them a little tighter with these clubs as well. So everything looking really good. I've got 12 feet here for birdie. This one should be going just a little left to right, downhill again. Oh man, I think I just didn't give it enough. It might have been another birdie if I had a little more pace. Either way, easy tap in pars, I never hate. So we're heading to the toughest hole on this side, but of course we're playing from these silver tees, so if I can get a decent shot off the tee box, hopefully we'll have that 7-iron in our hand. I will be fully swinging out of my shoes here on this one because I need as much distance as possible. Longer hole here. Oh, I mean, for me, that is like 7 to maybe almost 8-iron height. Of course, I'm teeing it up here, but these just definitely get up in the air so high. Club head speed 93 as expected. I got it up there. Ball speed 133, smash 143, good number. Estimated carry 202. If I went that long, it's actually possible I'm in the water. And I wouldn't be too sad, honestly. All the clubs here in this new JPX 925 line are pretty darn incredible. And if you have good clubs like these, you gotta protect them. And that's why I always, when I'm traveling, use Shipsticks. They are a partner of this show and you get 20% off. And here in August, they've got a major promotion where you can ship your clubs anywhere in the United States for only $49. So give them a shot. The clubs will arrive on time and they will, most importantly, arrive safely out of the hands of the airline baggage handlers. You definitely don't want that. So I'm gonna leave a link down below for you to check them out. I've got 192 to this pin. I'm gonna check how far that last one went as well. And in case you're wondering, I did hit that 210. So pretty good pop there with a 5-iron. I should have plenty of distance. In fact, I'm probably now between a 7 and a 5-iron. But yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go 7-iron and just see if I can get on the green here and have a putt. Oh yeah, nice and high. Leaking on me a little bit though. It could find its way into a bunker. Yeah, it did, right into the sand. I think I had enough distance there. We were about pin high, but when I take a bigger swing at something, left is the normal miss. And because of the water on the right, I couldn't miss there. So let's see if we can get up and down from the sand. I'd say I carry that 182 and into the wind. That's a good number. So plenty of distance out of these Hot Metal Pros. Tough bunker shot though. Saving par here is gonna be difficult. Oh, it's about as good as I could do for distance, but it still caught the hill and it's rolling down there. I'm happy with it though. Okay, well, we took a risk and it cost us a shot here. We're back to even par, but we've got a wide open fairway here on hole number 5, a little uphill par 4. So game improvement clubs like these generally have a little lack of workability. And I was actually surprised with the regular hot metals that they did have more workability than I thought. I would assume these would be a little bit better. I should be able to shape my shots just a little bit more here with this smaller Hot Metal Pro. Let's see if that's the case. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna aim over that tree. We're gonna see if we can get it to cut back into the fairway. Now, a lot of people watch these videos and they comment that they say I've got a very closed stance. That's a lot of the reason that you see that is because of the wide angle lens on this camera. What you can't see is that I'm actually gonna open my stance here. And if I was to lay this club down, you might get a little better look at it. I'm actually pretty open here. I am going to take an outside to in swing, and that's how I hit a fade. And there we go. Yeah, again, nice and high. If you can believe it, I hit that one a little more off the toe than I would have wanted. And still, I got some nice movement out of that one. We'll test the workability here again on shot 2, but I'd say these have a little bit more movement possibility than the regular hot metals, these Hot Metal Pros. Position A here once again, and 144 is the number. I've got pitching wedge in hand. I am gonna again try to cut it a little bit to avoid that bunker on the right. And that one I hit thin, but still nice and high. Didn't really get a ton of cut there, but we're pin high and we've got ourselves another birdie putt. So we'll test it again here on the par 3. I wish the strike location was a little bit better there, but what I did see again there was that forgiveness. Pretty impressive. And I couldn't be more thrilled with distance control and stopping power out of these clubs. Really impressive right now. This green completely beat up because it's the end of the day and some folks didn't fix their pitch marks, which is a darn shame. But we've got about an 18-footer here for birdie. Oh, hit that one too hard. Way too hard. And that means we've got a tough putt coming back here. Much tougher than I should have. Should have been a little tap in. Instead, I've got 10 feet. Oh, give it to me. Give it to me. Wow. I did not want a bogey on this hole. And luckily the putter came through on putt 2 there. Just a little bit of a brain fart late in the day in terms of speed, but luckily it got saved. We've got one more hole to play. It's a par 3. After I hit my tee shot, we're gonna rank these clubs. And I think they're gonna get a pretty big score. 162, I'm gonna go 7-iron here again. We're gonna try to fade that ball in, which is gonna take a little distance off this club, which is probably about a 190 club as we saw. So I'm gonna need to take a little bit off. Let's see if we can move this ball left to right though. Yes. Oh, that looks really good. That looks really nice. Just a little right of the pin. Again, good amount of movement out of these Hot Metal Pros. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed with what Mizuno has done. So I rank clubs on 5 criteria. First is distance. And these, just like the regular hot metals, these Hot Metal Pros are gonna get a full 5 out of 5. These things are bombers. For me to hit a 208 5-iron, this mere mortal, that's intensely good, intensely good. In terms of forgiveness, I hit a low one, I hit some off the toe today. I hit a lot of greens, as you saw. I only missed 1 green, and that's because I really tried to attack it. I tried to overswing. So for forgiveness, 5 out of 5, easily. And these are some of the most forgiving clubs I've ever played on this channel. So if I had more than 5 stars to give, they would be getting them. In terms of workability, these are not so bad for game improvement clubs. Really good, in fact. I'm gonna give them 4 out of 5 in terms of workability, which is a very high score for this category of club. In terms of aesthetics, these have the looks, sound, and feel that we're missing out of the hot metals. These Hot Metal Pros are pretty impressive. They feel better, they sound better, and they look better. I'm gonna give them 4.5 out of 5 stars. And finally, in terms of value, I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5 stars again. I think you're getting a lot of club for the money here. In terms of larger name brands, Mizuno is more of a niche brand, but they are absolutely famous for their irons, and that carries a lot of weight and a lot of cachet. And so again, resale value comes along with that. So I think really high. Here's the score. This score will tell you that I like these better than the 84 points I gave to the Hot Metals, which was still a strong score with the lack of workability I thought those clubs had. These ones though are just a better club overall. And if I had to pick between these two for most people, I'd say go Hot Metal Pro 100%. So I just absolutely adore these clubs, and I think they're going to be right up at the top here of my 2025 picks. All right, we've got one more putt here for glory. We've already pretty much got the over under in hand, so we can get aggressive here. A birdie would be really nice to end this one. Oh yes! Oh baby! A fitting end for a fantastic set of irons. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please hit subscribe if you already haven't, and make sure to like this and share it with your friends. I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.